Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the South Carolina Gamecocks Dynasty here on EA Sports College Football 25 as we're back finally at home at Williams-Brice Stadium, 5-2 and 3-1 in the SEC, welcoming the 1-5 and 0-2 Mississippi State Bulldogs after three insanely classic matchups on the road. In the SEC, we finally return home against bottom team in the conference, so it should be an easier test today, but you never know in conference play as we're ready for game number 8 of the season already. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty mode content, as it will be Mississippi State. Starts off with the football, led by redshirt junior quarterback Chris Parson. You can see the numbers, 1,056 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions on the season, as the Mississippi State Bulldogs will start off on the ground, a gain of 2. Before being wrapped up by Georgia Tech transfer Shamik Jones. Second and 8, now they go with a toss path. This is Creed Whitmore, their best receiver on this team, the redshirt senior. Gains minimal yardage, and now it's 3rd and 8. Parsons lets it rip right side, and he's got a man behind the defense. That is going to be a touchdown, 73 yards to Lorenzo Clement, the 4-star freshman from Lafayette, Louisiana, burns the defense. He had 2 TDs last week. He gets one now, and it's 7-0 Mississippi State. As now we get our first look at the Gamecock offense, which has been just a very much an inconsistent unit this season. Dante Reno threw 3 picks last week, but still came up with a win against Auburn. So hopefully he doesn't have to take 3 picks to get the W, as we'll start off on the ground with Braymon McReynolds, who has 9 yards for the carry. Had a pretty good season so far. Only 1 touchdown rushing, though, which is a little strange. 2nd and 1, he gets the carry, and he's not going to go anywhere. He's going to go backwards, a loss of 4. Tackett Curtis with a nice tackle for a loss. 3rd and 5, quick throw is incomplete, and that's just 3 and out for the Gamecocks. Another slow start for the offense, as Mississippi State's offense will retake the field. They'll start off with a 5-yard run. 2nd and 5, another deep pass, and it's almost intercepted. Henry Floyd had his hands on that one. 3rd and 5, Bulldogs go play fake, and again almost picked off again. Henry Floyd gets his hands on it. 2 dropped interceptions, but at least it's going to be a punt, as now the South Carolina offense will retake the field. They go backwards on the first play, Tackett Curtis again. Now 3rd and 5. Reno wants a deep ball, and he gets intercepted. That's picked off by the safety, Isaac Smith, and the senior is going to get brought down to the 42. First 2 drives for the Gamecocks have been a 3 and out and an INT. Not a good start. Mississippi State now across midfield. Here's a quick pass in the slot. That's Brendan Ahmed with the first down. Next play, making some changes is Parsons, and almost the exact same play. They find Ahmed again, and the 4-star freshman from Maryville, Tennessee, will have his first 2 grabs of the day. 2nd and 2, here's Whitmore again on the pitch pass. This time it's swallowed up. Caden Curry there, the best defensive line we've had on this team this season. 3rd and 3, a bounce and outside run to Seth Davis, and he's going to have the first. He gets inside the red zone. 3 for 16 for the senior halfback. Next play, quick dump-off pass. This one's caught short, picks up 4. Now 2nd and 6, working into Gamecock territory. Quick pass again. That's a gain of 3, and now it's quickly a 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs. They go with an option here, and just barely pick up the first downs as Parson. He gets turned up and out. But it's goal to go now, and he's going to keep it again, and he's going to slide after picking up 3. 2nd goal from the 4. Pitch pass, and it's going to be enough for the touchdown. Mississippi State scores off the INT. It's 14-0 Bulldogs. Again, South Carolina goes down early. It's been the trend these recent couple of weeks, and it's almost an interception there. Gamecocks usually play better in the second half, but if you keep going to this same sort of routine, eventually it's going to come back to bite you. As on 3rd and 3, McReynolds can't get it, and that's going to be a punt. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. The Bulldogs of Mississippi State have dominated this game 14-0. Another slow start for the offense, while the Mississippi State offense has been firing all cylinders. They start the second quarter 2nd and 9. They're on 39. Here's a touch pass, this time to Lorenzo Clement, who picks up 2. Where he had the big 73-yarder in the first possession of the game. Now 3rd and 8. Parsons looks at the sticks, and he finds his man. Good routes to get right to the marker. That's Quadir Winston with his 2nd grab. Now at about midfield, quick pass, and that's going to be caught, and it's going to be a gain of 7 somehow. 2nd and 3, back to the ground. Davis up the middle, and he picks up a first down. Another good drive here for Mississippi State. They go to Davis again, right side. He picks up 4 before being knocked down by Jerron Willis. Stays in next play, gets another carry, and he's going to bounce this one outside. He's going to cut it back to the middle of the field. Big running lane for Seth Davis, who gets down to the 8. Good run there, and it's a goal-to-go trip again for Mississippi State. Now they go empty. Quick pass, incomplete. Big hit from Cam Robinson. You can see how the quarterbacks have matched up today. It has been all Parson in that battle. Second and goal, Davis, and he gets maybe 3, and now you got a third and goal from the 5. Mississippi State to throw for. Parson scrambles with it himself, and he's going to find the end zone with his legs. Touchdown Bulldogs, 21-0 in favor of the road squad. The offense needs to wake up. Otherwise, they're going to run out of time. First and 10 for the 48. Here's a throw to Tyshawn Russell on a slant, and that's going to help. He's going to go 52 yards for a touchdown. A quick answer there for South Carolina as they find the end zone for the first time today. It's 21-7. As we get deeper into the second quarter, now 5 minutes left to go. Mississippi State with the football again at their own 44. They hand it off to Davis, and he picks up 3. Davis now up to 11 carries, 61 yards. A good day on the ground for him. Checks out here on the second down play, though, as motion to man across the formation. And it's going to be a handoff, but Willis is not going to be fooled. Jerron Willis with a nice TFL there. Loss of 2. Makes it now 3rd and 9. To throw for is Parson. He looks left side, and this one's incomplete right through the hands of Whitmore. That's a punt, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. South Carolina with the football. They do get it back at the half, so a chance to double dip. Here's a nice route by Tyshawn Russell outside, but he can't get a foot in bounds. A little bit of a mistake there from the wide receiver. 2nd and 10 now. Reno looks right side. He's got McReynolds out of the backfield, deep down the sideline with a nice spin move to the 7. Goal to go now here for South Carolina, threatening to put up another touchdown. Running the clock, run down a little bit. Don't want to give Bulldogs all the time. As here's a throw right side for a touchdown. Elick Ayomaner in the back pylon, and that's going to be 7 more for South Carolina. Now 21-14. It did leave a minute 9 on the clock. Is that too much time? As on 1st and 10, there's a quick strike to Whitmore on the outside. He's got 6 catches for 23 yards. 1st and 10 now from the 31. To throw is Parson. Man in his face. He's going to scramble. He gets away from a sack. Somehow gets out of the pocket. Picks up a first down and some more. Great running by Chris Parson there. Not sure how he got away from that one. But he moves the chains. Now the clock inside 30 seconds. Mississippi State doesn't use a timeout. Nice throw behind the linebacker that time. Now they'll use timeout number 2. 20 seconds left to go here. Parson, he wants the deep ball. He's got a man behind the defense and it's caught. Creed Whitmore in the back of the end zone. What a grab. But it's not going to count. Holding on the offense, Jimothy Lewis, who's had a very rough season for the Bulldogs, is the culprit. That wipes out 6. Now 1st and 20. It's man coverage, so nobody's there to account for Parson, who almost picks it all up on the ground with his legs. He'll slide down, and with 8 seconds, Mississippi State's going to go for the field goal here. From 40 yards out, they drill it. So going into the half, it's going to be 24-14. In favor of Mississippi State. This is a game that South Carolina should win. But with Florida on the horizon, are they falling into the trap that is Mississippi State? Because the Bulldogs offense, particularly the pass games and Chris Parson, has looked almost unstoppable today. South Carolina will start off the second half, though, with their own 25. It's going to be a bubble screen to Russell, and it's going to be hit hard. Nice defensive play by Evan Talbot, the freshman corner. Minimal yardage now picks up to McReynolds, and he gets absolutely bodied. Calvin Dinkins in the backfield literally bulldozed Jason Zamandela, the center. So quickly now 3rd and 14. Mississippi State sends pressure, and then Reno's going to get intercepted. Picked off by the freshman Jabari Everett, and the redshirt freshman from Ridgeland, Mississippi will get it down to the 8-yard line. Goal to go trip for Mississippi State. 2nd INT of the day for Reno. A chance to extend their lead. Parson cuts it right side. He picks up 3. 7 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown for him on the ground on top of his good passing day. As on 2nd and goal, it's a touch pass to Clement, and he's going to pick up maybe 2. Big 3rd and goal from the 3. Parson rolls to his left, and he dives in for the end zone right in front of Willis, who didn't make a play on the quarterback. And Mississippi State capitalizes. Their lead is now extended 31-14. A 3-score game here at home in favor of the road squad. As on 1st and 10, Reno's going to go backwards. Gilmore with the sack. Now a 3rd and 20 for this offense, well behind the chains. Reno looks right side, wants this tight end, but is knocked away by Everett. Bulldogs are just dominated this game. Now they have the football back, a chance to even extend their lead more. But finally, Parsons is going to be sacked. It's Curry with the tackle for loss in form of a sack. Now 3rd and 8. Parsons looks across the middle. That one's knocked down quickly. And at least the South Carolina defense will get off the field. But back to the offense we go, which outside of a second quarter has been just awfully mediocre at best. And here's not going to help as well. A holding call on Cam Pringle will negate this play. Makes it now 1st and 20. With the South Carolina defense or offense behind the chains, that's never a good thing. Quickly, it's 3rd and 9. Renos tries to step up, but he's going to be sacked right into the arms of Travion Williams, who brings him down, and that'll end the drive. So Mississippi State still up by 17. Will hold the football after a pickup of 6. 2nd and 4 across the middle. Here's a nice catch and run down to the 27. Parson crosses 200 yards passing. Next play, that's a throw in the dirt quickly in his face. That was Caden Curry again. So after the incompletion, lucky it was a forward pass. It's a handoff to Davis up the middle, who picks up 3. And now you got a big 3rd and 7. You need to get off the field here, at least force 3. Mississippi State goes empty. Parson to throw across the middle of the air, mails it incomplete. And Mississippi State will take the 3. Now it's a 20-point game, and that one's almost intercepted. Reno's got to be more careful with the football. He's been a little bit too lackluster with it. 2nd and 10. As a man downfield, it's Russell, but he throws it behind him. You got to connect on these passes. So now instead it's 3rd and 10. Reno across the middle. That one's at the feet, and that's incomplete. That's a 3 and out, and South Carolina will again punt it to Mississippi State. And we have a 20-point game here in the 4th quarter. Mississippi State with the football. And they're in our territory. This has a chance to be over before the 4th quarter even starts to get rolling. 1st and 10. That's a touchdown for the Bulldogs. But again, I think this is going to be negated because of a holding penalty. They're going to get the left tackle this time. Malik Evans with the holds. That's the 2nd time today Mississippi State's had a touchdown. It hasn't counted. Now 3rd and 20. Parson just takes the safe route across the middle. And that's going to get about 12. And that'll set up a field goal try from the left hash. A chance to go up by 23 points. Kyle Frary, who's 7 for 10 on the season, will kick this one up, and good as he extends the lead. 37-14 now. We'll see how South Carolina does with their first possession. As at the 38, Reno looks short, and he gets intercepted. Kamari Rogers with his 2nd INT of the season. And that's the 3rd of the day for Reno. Mississippi State trying to put the dagger in. Now, fortunately for us, it's 3rd and 11, and it's actually going to be going backwards to 4th and 12. So Mississippi State will try to take a 4-possession lead here, as it is a 54-yard try from right hash. Frary with the kick, and it is going to be pulled left. Had the distance, just left. So at least South Carolina doesn't give up any points. They got to get something going. 2nd and 18 now after a sack. Reno looks across the middle, and he gets intercepted again. Back-to-back drives that ended an INT. This time, Isaac Smith with his 2nd of the day. That's the 4th of the day for Reno, just throwing this one away literally. Now we got a 3rd and 8 for Mississippi State on the next drive, and it's going to end in a sack from Curry. They'll force another field goal try, a chance to again extend it to a 4-score lead. As this one is from 40 yards out from right hash. Frary, who's 1 for 3 on the day, will go 2 for 3 on the day. Will go 3 for 4. Now a 26-point lead. This one's all but over. We do have one more highlight. Reno launches one downfield to Russell, who beats the defense. That'll be 70 yards, but that'll just be a stat patter at best, because Mississippi State comes to Columbia and shocks us. We get upset 40-21 in a game that was just not even competitive. Mississippi State picks up their first conference win of the season. That's their 2nd straight victory after beating Cal last week, while we fall to 5-3, 3-2, and virtually eliminating us from any chance at a conference title. These are the games you look back on at the end of the season, and you're just like, what the heck, man? What happened? We had the same thing happen to us a couple years ago when we went to Vanderbilt and lost that game. This year was Mississippi State. Reno did not look good. 4 interceptions. That's 7 in the past 2 games. I know he's been the quarterback all season. It's kind of late in the year, and you're about to play some tough teams, so you don't necessarily want to switch quarterbacks. But he's got to pick it up if he wants to keep his job. 4-star defensive end Frederick Golston will commit from Boiling Springs, South Carolina. I don't know how we got to commit after that game. But he is going to be coming. He's a power rusher athlete. He'll probably play defensive end at 6'5", 294. I like his strength and I like his power move. It's a good starting block. We also get 4-star defensive end Enrique Leal. So our defensive line's gotten really strong this recruiting class, as he is a 4-star from Stuart, Florida, who is a run stopper who should help with all these gashes we seem to be getting up, coming in with an 84 block shed and 82 strength. I like it. Now, we do miss out on a quarterback. Dwayne Maggio, a 4-star from Alabama, will commit to the Florida State Seminoles. I think he was overall going to be a good pocket passer, but we just don't really need a quarterback. We also get some news. Caden Curry gets SEC Defensive Player of the Week. I don't think he necessarily deserved it. Yes, he had 2 sacks and 4 TFL, but Isaac Smith had 2 interceptions that same game. And Curry actually gets National Defensive Player of the Week. Not sure how, but I guess we'll take it. Here are your scores around a Week 8. Kansas State knocks off Iowa State. And if you see, the Wildcats are now the #1 ranked team. So an upset we got to take an eye out for. BYU upsets UCF. And there's the one I was talking about. USC loses in overtime at home to Maryland. That was a thriller, probably the game of the year. The Terrapins down the Trojans. Oregon gets back in the win column over Michigan. A big win for them. As we'll take a look at the scores in Week 8. There it is. USC going down to Maryland. 43-41. Florida, we'll see next week, knocks off Vanderbilt on the road. Boston College loses a home matchup to Pittsburgh. Southern Miss over Coastal in the Sun Belt. And then Oregon getting it done against Michigan. Big bounce back win for the defending champs. Clemson now up to 6. They knock off Cal in a rematch from last year's ACC Championship game. Tennessee on the road takes care of Texas. The Vols up to 4. Louisiana Monroe over Utah State. And then we see Iowa over Illinois. The Fighting Illini go down at home. Charlotte dominates FAU, and then Georgia bounces back with a victory over Texas A&M. The Aggies still winless in the conference. Penn State over Purdue in the battle of top 10 Big Ten teams. UNLV knocks off UTEP in the Mountain West, and we see Kentucky down Oklahoma at home. South Florida knocks off Tulane 41-14. UNC wins a close one against Syracuse in Chapel Hill. Georgia Tech in the top 15 now after beating Stanford on the road. Texas Tech over Houston in the Big 12. We see Kansas State over Iowa State. That was the game of the week. The Wildcats 7-0, the #1 team in all of the land. Nebraska knocks off Rutgers 31-3. We see Oregon State over Oklahoma State as the Cowboys just continue to disappoint in this series. New Mexico over Wyoming. Texas State bounces back with a victory over Georgia Southern. And we see Colorado with a close one over Utah. The Buffaloes up to 17th. Jacksonville State, the other Gamecocks leagues, pick up a win over Liberty. In the Battle of the Apple Cup, it is Washington who knocks off Washington State in a blowout. Wisconsin over UConn, and then we see Central Michigan in the MAC get it done on the road against Buffalo. SMU dominates Louisville, and then at Miami, 33-7 over Virginia Tech. Miami top 5 ranking now. Old Dominion over Appalachian State. We see New Mexico State over Western Kentucky. Alabama now up to #2 and 7-0. They beat Arkansas 43-17. Bowling Green over Miami, Ohio. Arizona over Cincinnati in a battle of ranked Big 12 squads. LSU dominates Missouri at home, 52 put up against Mizzou. Auburn bounces back. They get a victory over Ole Miss. And then we see us, of course, lost to Mississippi State. 7-3. How about that score? Not a lot of scoring in this one, but Minnesota gets the win. Akron over East Carolina. Then we see Memphis over UTSA. Eastern Michigan, apologize. Air Force over Hawaii, and then Ball State knocks off Kent State. Army gets the victory over North Texas in the AAC. Duke over Virginia in a low-scoring affair. Fresno State bounces back and beats Toledo. The Rockets have been disappointing this year, 2-5. BYU got the victory on the road against UCF, knocking them down in the Big 12, and then NC State with a victory over Wake Forest. South Alabama knocks off Louisiana, and then Northwestern gives Kennesaw State their 3rd straight loss, 14-3. Middle Tennessee State squeaks by Louisiana Tech, and then 9-3 UCLA gets a victory over Michigan State. Not a lot of scoring in the Big Ten this week. And then Notre Dame takes care of Florida State in Tallahassee. Here are your players of the week. We knew Caden Curry, Jarius Mack of Charlotte had it in their win against Florida Atlantic with 4 total touchdowns. And then your SEC, Jeremiah Smith, 12 catches, 136 yards, and 3 scores. Here are your new rankings. Kansas State at the top. Alabama getting some first place votes as well. USC fell all the way to 8. Georgia up to 10. Michigan fell to 12. A lot of movement. Unfortunate that we had to lose, because I think if we would have beat Mississippi State this week, we would have been one of these new teams joining the ranks. But instead, we are not. Big games this week. Tennessee versus LSU, and Texas and Alabama are two big SEC showdowns. Alabama, could they be in for a surprise when they face the Longhorns? Minnesota hosts Michigan in a big Big Ten clash. And the number 1 team, Kansas State, will travel to face number 21 Cincinnati. This week we'll stay at home and we'll host 16 Florida. And this is going to be a tough one. If we struggle with Mississippi State at home, we could struggle with Florida. DJ Langway is a very good quarterback, and they have a very good offense and a pretty good defense to counteract it. They are 16th. They are 4-3, so they have about the same record that we do. And I do think this is a winnable game. I think we can knock off Florida, get back on track here, go ahead and get bowl eligible before we go on a 3-game gauntlet to end this year. But these next 4 games to end the season are going to be some big ones. But we'll start off with the Gators at home in the next episode. If you guys enjoyed this one, sorry for the upset, but any given Saturday in college football. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.